Hi, it's 2021 Emma and Brian.
Whew, good Lord.
I think if you're cool, I'm going to upload the full video on my Patreon, which I
Ooh,
just launched recently. So the unedited interview will be for the Patreons.
subscribe to Emma's Patreon. Give her monies. Give her dinero.
Give me $1 so Peach can go to medical school.
Oh, gotta have somebody in the family making that money.
God knows I'm not. We just both watched through the 2020 interview that we did.
Whew.
And if you told me that this is how we were going to look like, I don't know that I would believe you.
Absolutely not.
Like, just physically speaking, like completely different, I think.
Oh yeah. Both of us have gone through personal inward and outward transformations over this last year. That's for sure.
Brian's like, look at me, I'm sexy now. um so if you haven't seen that video, I asked Brian some questions while he was cutting my hair. As far as I'm concerned, at that point we fully anticipated filming a sequel while we were in the same place.
Yeah.
We had no idea. I mean, we had no you can tell we had no idea.
Oh God, no.
You were hesitant. You were hesitant because you'd had a rough 2019. And then 2020.
And then everyone had a rough 2020.
I want to be energetic about it. I feel like I should be performative, but I'm just not, because this is so like.
yeah, honestly, just like, oh boy.
So should I ask you a question?
Yeah, ask me a question.
Then I'm going to also answer the question because I'm narcissistic.
Narcissism is important.
If it's not about me, what's the point?
I mean, this channel is literally named after you, so I feel like a little bit of narcissism is important.
I agree. So you told me to edit the first question because 2020 has been a little complex, one might argue. So summarize your last year quickly, because you are a rambler. That last video was you rambling.
My last year, I don't know. I worked way too much at a job I hated for a very long time.
In case you forgot where I'm living.
I got a lot of personal accomplishments done last year. I'm very, very proud of what I've done personally. Just general health and living wise. Moved out into my own place. We did a lot of musical things. Been practicing my craft a lot. Got healthy finally after a long time of struggling with that.
Yeah, I would just say a lifetime.
Yeah, because that's always been a thing I've struggled a lot with, and that was kind of a big defining thing for me last year, was just the health aspect of it. I hesitate to say like, oh, I lost a ton of weight, because like weight loss isn't always a healthy thing, so I'm trying to reframe it in that way. But yeah, and just as of recently, got a job in kind of the industry, but working in a guitar shop, but it's a really cool one, and I'm just happy to be out of the food industry and be doing something even tangentially related to music. So I'll cut myself off there so I don't keep going.
I was trying to think if there was anything. You got COVID.
Oh yeah, I got COVID.
You got COVID. You lost.
I forgot about that.
I lost COVID.
I got the COVID, and I didn't even get it, and I didn't even get it from like
being
work.
Stupid, because you were being stupid.
Well, I was being a little stupid, yeah.
You're being stupid.
I didn't get it from being stupid. I got it from just bad fucking luck, from getting it from my roommate, who got it from his girlfriend, who got it from a client.
Yeah.
It was just this unfortunate series of events.
I'm trying to think. You're vegetarian.
I am. Yeah, kind of. I'm like,
Mostly vegetarian.
as I've been saying, I'm an uncommitted vegetarian. It's going well. Never thought I'd be a vegetarian ever. I never thought that I would. I've always been a very meaty guy, if you will.
Your year, I think, is easier to summarize than mine was.
I didn't really have that much like big moments. The biggest like moment I had this year was moving out. Everything else was like kind of just very slow, just kind of little things happening here and there that are it's you look back on it and I'm in a completely different place than I was last year, but every day didn't really feel different.
I started the year dating someone.
Yep.
Stopped. Got on antidepressants that work. Good.
Ooh, very good thing.
Dog died. Scooter died.
Ooh, big bad thing.
Yeah, big, sad.
That one sucked real, and it was at the beginning of quarantine.
Yeah, like a month into the panoramic.
Yep.
Gone. Moved apartments. Got promoted.
Hey.
Started streaming.
Which has
Streaming is huge for me. Yeah, I think that's it. Honestly, we raised money for koalas. That was cool.
Yep, that was awesome.
Yeah, great time. 12-hour streams, really fun. And then all the other updates that I have, I've had more updates, I think. I'm very big event. I'm very dramatic. I've had a lot of updates in the beginning of 2021. I'm fine.
That's it for now.
That's it for now. Your biggest accomplishment last year?
Moving out, honestly. That was because my, like I said, I didn't have really any big moments last year, as far as like tangible stuff like that. So I'm gonna say that was my big one last year, was finally post college moving into my own place.
I would almost argue your biggest accomplishment was just starting walking.
I mean,
because you just started and you didn't stop.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't.
I guess, yeah, and that's I guess something worth talking about, because that was really weird how hard I committed to that and how not difficult it was.
Right.
Because I kind of got on this bit of a health kick, counting calories and all that for a little bit, but then basically when quarantine started,
because you got fired essentially.
Yeah, I got laid off. So I had about 3 months. I had about 3 months where I didn't have a job. I was just home living with my dad. He was working from home. I was unemployed, and I just started walking all around the neighborhood and around the community, and I just made that a thing. Got my 10,000 steps every day, and I haven't looked back on it since. And I just started it one day, and I didn't stop it. It wasn't the thing where I was like, gotta get myself out there to do that. It was just like, no, this is what I do now.
It's pretty dramatic.
It really was. And I really don't know where it came from.
My biggest accomplishment in the past year was probably just standing up for myself. COVID really taught me what mattered to me. It kind of affirmed like a lot of, it forced me to walk the walk in terms of prioritizing others' well-being above my own, which meant I had to like tarnish a lot of relationships. But I think that was important. Like, it's hard to say if I regret it or not. It was important for me, and yeah, like I don't know. That's what I guess. Like that's kind of like why I ended up moving. Because what I tried to work on last year was learning to fight for myself. And I learned that I can fight for myself and for other people at the same time. So I take COVID very, very seriously. I'm really proud of myself for that. Yeah, and then sticking with streaming. If I want something like more tangible, because I start and stop making content. all the time. But I stuck with it, and I found some great people, and I love it.
I'm still shocked by your little community that you built up on Twitch.
It's wild.
It's
so fun. Our best moment this past year.
I mean, that's a hard one because every moment we've had this past year has been like this.
Being able to have two different mindsets on the pandemic and still be able to take a step back from each other was really big.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Brian was like going out to parties and stuff. That's not what I'm saying.
No,
but he was more lenient, and I was not lenient.
Yeah, I never was at a point where I was like, oh, COVID's not real, and going out and making like those kinds of stupid decisions. But I was making exceptions for people in a way that Emma absolutely was not. We're making exceptions for literally anybody.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of times where we kind of, like you said, we had to step back. We need to figure this out on our own for a minute, and then come back together.
And then you got COVID, so who's right?
It'd be easy. I almost wish I had gotten COVID from one of those times of me being stupid.
Honestly, like,
because it did feel so stupid after, like, because and I'll of course say, like, I know that I didn't act smartly in those situations. Like, I'm not pretending like it was a good idea. But it was the exceptions I was making. But then when I got it from just from a roommate, just this awful circumstance of bad luck, essentially. It's just like, come on, that's what did it. That's what it had to be.
Yeah, it honestly. Yeah, I think it was because that's like the first thing we've really agreed on or disagreed on in a while. I'm right.
Yeah, honestly.
The ability to disagree on something and still come back and be able to have those conversations, but also be strong enough to like stick to our guns, I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah. That is the weird thing of, like, and especially looking back on it now, and even at the time, weirdly enough, it was like, I was like, yeah, you're right. And we make the joke all the time where I've got a bad habit of being like, oh, I know what I'm doing is a bad idea, but
it's too late. Brian's number one characteristic is stubborn.
Which is so funny because I'm so not stubborn in so many ways, but I'm so horrendously stubborn.
Immovable on stuff. I'm incredibly flexible. I'm stubborn, but I'm stubborn in things I won't be flexible on, like in terms of like how people treat each other, sort of stuff like that. But you're just like only child syndrome. Like, I'm doing it. You can't stop me. And I'm like, you're right.
Like, yeah, you're gonna do that.
At Mr. Brian Akers, if you want to send him any hate about
I'm accepting all hate.
All hate, as long as it gets him followers.
Exactly.
Okay, so these are favorites. So your favorite food or the best meal you've had recently.
Okay. So I'll put two up there. One I actually made myself. I went online and I found a chili and cornbread recipe, a vegetarian chili and cornbread recipe, and it was amazing. It was so good. Actually, I wanna shout out the website. It's called Budget Bites.
It's called tasty.com. I don't know if it's called Facebook. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, Budget Bites, and that's BYTES. And it's just a website full of recipes that you can do on the cheap. And it's got, like, serving sizes, and it's got full calories and nutritional content. And it's got like the price for servings and like ingredients and all that. And it's really, really good. Simple, easy to do stuff. But the chili and cornbread recipe was absolutely fantastic. And other than that, I'm now in a new part of town where it's a large immigrant community over here. So there's a lot of different kinds of food and a lot of different stuff. And there are two restaurants. One of them is a Indian place, and their tikka masala is just It's godly. It's
I'm
one of
paying
the
attention. Sorry.
it's one of the best things I've ever put in my mouth. I just love it so much. And then the other one is a Mexican place. I got their pastor burrito recently, and it was just oh, it's so good. Good pastor is something else.
Speaking, mine's the burrito.
Of course.
Still the cart burritos in Los Angeles are unparalleled. I'm lucky to have one very close to where I am, and that's my favorite place to eat. It's hard to justify eating anywhere else. Yeah, but that burrito, really good. I haven't cooked anything that's like blown me away recently. Favorite band?
Okay, well,
I might have to look this up for mine, which makes them not my favorite, but
my favorite 3 records of 2020.
Dua Lipa's album 3 times.
Almost, if I'm being, Dua Lipa's album was going to be one of those 3 because
Unnecessary. Didn't have to go that hard. Didn't have to.
Oh my god, that album slaps just all day, every day. That album is just my favorite thing. It's so good. It has no right being as good as it is, and it upsets me, quite frankly, because I want more.
I'm greedy.
Jason Isbell's record from last year, Reunions, absolutely fantastic. And Caribou, who is a kind of electronic music producer, his album from last year.
Who's a snow deer? It's Caribou Sounds. Brian has gotten incredibly into caribou throat singing. Puts him to sleep at night. He's become very pretentious. I'm sorry, Caribou. That was a joke.
But I only listen to Caribou from before they're famous. I don't listen to any Caribou you've ever heard of.
My favorite band this past year. I've been really making a point to try to listen to more music. I'm not really sure why. Maybe Mr. Wives.
I think you've sent me a couple of their songs.
Yeah. Like I haven't listened to like bands very much recently. I've been aggressively listening to Broadway, but in terms of bands, probably Mr. Wives, the Wombats, pretty much all the same stuff. Wombats, Laney, 1975.
Dua Lipa.
Obvious, that was given. Dua Lipa. My favorite band is the Waitress original Broadway soundtrack. Favorite movie. Not much came out last year.
We had a little bit of a pause.
Soul.
Yeah. But yeah, Soul. I think Soul's probably the right answer. Yeah, I think I watched Soul morning after, like on New Year's Day. I think actually I watched it, but
I watched it Christmas morning.
God, it was so stupidly good. Pixar. I thought that they were done. I thought it was over.
No,
but
Coco.
Some of the best stuff they've ever done has been in the last decade, which I didn't think was going to happen.
Favorite TV show? What did you binge during the pandemic? Tiger King.
Oh God, I think I'm the only person who ever watched Tiger King.
Carol Baskin killed her husband, whacked him. Ask me if it didn't happen. Ooh.
But the thing I did watch and absolutely fell in love with in 2020 was The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
I remember you watching it. That show gives me secondhand anxiety, so I haven't finished it.
I love it so dearly. It is one of the best showbiz stories I've ever seen. It's so good, and it's so well made, and it's funny as hell. And
women can be funny?
Apparently so. Now they can, because Marvelous Mrs. Maisel come out. There's now the first funny woman. So,
and the first and the last. I mean, I spent most of 2020 watching Gotham because I couldn't get through it.
Started that recently. It's very slow, but it's going. It's
very slow. I don't think it was as bad as people say it was, but that's because I watched Game of Thrones.
So basically your taste in everything has just been completely ruined.
I never had taste to begin with. That's like my thing, is I don't have taste when it comes to what I spend my time on. I have a limited amount of time on this earth. And if it's not watching things that people tell me are bad, I don't know what the point is. Like, you know what I watch on YouTube more than anything? Videos about The Sims. You know a game I don't play? The Sims. I don't play The Sims. There's this YouTuber uploads every day. I've watched all of her videos for like months. I have not played The Sims in months. I don't care. I'm not going to buy it. I don't even like what she does in The Sims. I watch it every day. She builds houses. I don't, that's my least favorite part of The Sims. But I watch her videos every single day. Oh, favorite TV show. Not a TV show that you've watched. My favorite TV show is still Orange is the New Black. My new favorite TV show is Harley Quinn.
I have a tough time saying what my favorite TV show is because I'm really not sure. I mean, I guess I'm gonna keep it with Breaking Bad just
Yeah,
because.
I was like, you really like Better Call Saul though.
Oh, if Better Call Saul sticks the landing in its final season, it's gonna give Breaking Bad some serious competition because it's so good. And it's developed so much better than I thought that it possibly could. I'm so excited about the final season.
Spoilers for Better Call Saul. Do they ever call Saul?
They actually call Saul quite a lot.
Okay, thank goodness. I wanted to get into a show I knew what I was getting into. They better call Saul.
They do call Saul, don't worry.
Drink of choice.
Yeah.
Tequila. I'm fine.
Lately it's just beer lately, like craft beer.
Reposado tequila, strawberry margs.
A good mojito, a mule, or a really, really nice like amber ale.
Tequila.
Why do you look disappointed in me? Or are you looking disappointed yourself?
Why would I be disappointed? I'm fun. I'm actively my age. I'm 25. My favorite drink is tequila. Mr. Amber Ale craft beer. You're 20. You're 23.
24.
You're 24.
Yeah. You're not that much older than me.
I'm 1100 years old. Song of 2020.
How was it the same one as the year before?
Is it? Oh, it's in. So the number one is the song you listen to the most?
Yeah.
Mine's It's Not Living If It's Not With You.
Nice. That's a good one. My top song was Once Again 16. Like I said, don't really know how. I don't feel like I listened to it that much in 2020. But I think it was on a couple of my playlists that would go on at work a lot, so it kind of came up. But I did forget that I got really into Bad Flower last year. So like their entire album is on my top 100 songs because especially in the beginning, that's the album I would have on repeat while I was going on walks. That one, probably like just pick a song off Dua Lipa's album. It almost doesn't matter which one. Lately, Cool's been the big one. That one, Love Again, and Break My Heart.
Favorite song. Lists every song you heard in 2020.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's like you like music or something. Just go start. Advice to yourself of next year.
Stop waiting for things. That's my
okay.
Well, that's the big thing that I've been giving myself a little bit more lately, and that I was really I've been guilty of for most of my life is I kind of wait for things and I wait for opportunities and I like always am waiting for the right moment or right whatever it is. But some of the best things that have come out of this past year are the ones where I am taking like an active step forward and I'm taking agency in my own decisions and in my own life. And because I'm a very passive person, but I've gotten a lot of good has come out of not being passive. Keep going with that. Keep making decisions, moving forward, and don't wait for the right moment for everything to happen.
Mine's literally the opposite of yours. Be patient. Stop making aggressive decisions. Stop making what you want try to happen in this moment. Stop it. Stop it. I just want it right now. The world doesn't work at my pace. Hopefully, this cryptic thing I'm saying will not be aggressively applicable in 6 months. Hopefully, I will have what I'm gesturing about. Let yourself get what you think you deserve. I deserve more. That's not like a greedy thing. That's just like, I am a big self-sabotager, and I know what I deserve, and I'm willing to compromise to get something less. Get what you deserve. Follow the joy. That's kind of been my mantra for the past couple of months. Follow the joy. So, like, a lot of the big decisions that I've been making have been joy-based.
Our advice to ourselves are the exact opposite, but I think they're both kind of in the same vein and kind of in search of the same goal. But because of how drastically different we are, we have to approach it in different ways.
What do you hope to accomplish in 2021?
All right, so I've got three. Release music is a big one because it needs to happen. I want it to happen, and this is the time for it to happen. Get back into the world of playing. I want to play shows again. It's been so long. I miss it so bad. Just playing live. That's not entirely up to me because of the whole,
Panera Bread.
If I can make just a living, a modicum of a living, if I can figure out a way to where I can make ends meet monetarily and that not be through doing things I hate, if by the end of the year, even if I'm gotta struggle a little bit, I'm okay with living a little bit of struggle life. If I can make ends meet money wise doing what I love, then I want to do that.
Can you drink from your sparkling water real quick?
It's empty.
I'm going to say something bold because it seems very, very difficult right now. But I'm just going to say it. If it doesn't happen, doesn't happen. I want to get 1,000 followers on every social media platform I use by the end of the year. It's doable. I know people who do less and have that. Fairly confident that will happen with Twitch, but all of my other platforms, no. But I think that would be kind of cool. Like and subscribe. I want to finish a draft of something. Novel is what I'm thinking. That one feels the most plausible. I want to continue training this one to be a normal dog. If she could, got a lot of training to do, and I'm doing it myself, and I'm really proud of what I've been able to do, but I think I can do better. And I'm hoping teaching her discipline will teach me discipline as well. Those are the questions.
I like it.
Thanks for being my friend for another year.
You're welcome. Thank you for being mine.
It's not been easy.
I can't even imagine.
You're
I can't
only
imagine
friends with
what's.
me for this.
I mean, yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Brian and I are rambly, but I think it's pretty cool that our friendship, like so much of our friendship now has been long distance. And it's cool. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for being my buddy.
Of course. Thank you for being mine. Even when I'm stupid.
Don't be. He's actually very smart. I rag on him a lot, but I don't know what my life would be like without Brian.
Oh.
Shut up. Thank you so much for watching. Links to all the things, his things, my things, are in the box below. Thank you so much. I hope you'll see me next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.